but you're going to want your main router to be good too. And so let's talk about what the main router could be in your home. And this one is a good TP-Link smart router that you could use to complement those mesh extenders we just talked about a moment ago, right? So let's talk for a minute. Let's have some real talk here, guys. The routers that your internet service provider gives you, Comcast, Cox, AT&T, Verizon, you name it. The router that they're renting you is hot trash. It is the worst garbage. They give you the lowest quality router they can, and they rent it to you month over month over month over month. And they're just basically taking you to the cleaners in terms of money. You don't have to use their router. You don't have to use their equipment. You can buy your own equipment that's better, and then you own it, and your internet's faster. These companies are renting you these routers to make a profit off of you. They're not renting you these routers to help you, okay? And so one option for you is to pick up a high quality router like this TP-AC1750 smart router. One of the best selling routers on all of Amazon. Why? It's incredibly simple to set up, and it's got dual band routing technology built in. See the 3 antennas right there? That's gonna help extend the network even further in your home. Not to mention, this is really important, guys, pay attention, it's got 4 wired connections as well. So it'll turn that one internet connection from your main router in your home into 4 internet connections that you can use for wired. So if you're a gamer and you want no latency, boom, plug it right into the router. If you're doing live streaming or you're streaming video and you want it to be extremely reliable, boom, plug it in right there and plug it right into the router. And it gives you that wireless network that you can add extenders on, like the product I was just talking about a moment ago from TP-Link. What's really important about this device is that you can basically customize it in every way with the app we were just talking about a moment ago. So what is this gonna do? This particular router has 2,500 square foot coverage of Wi-Fi in your home if you put it in the middle of your home. But as you can see in the diagram here, they only have a 1-story home here that they've listed in the diagram. Now, it's not like it can't do multi-story homes. Of course it can. But if you have a multi-story home, you may want to consider adding on the internet extenders that I was talking about a moment ago, the mesh extenders, on top of this router to give you better coverage across multiple floors. Make sense? Cool. And what it's saying here is that you can connect up to 50 devices to this particular router. Here's why this sort of router makes sense. It's got onboard processing inside. So it's got hardware inside that it allows it to move data around between all your devices. The piece of garbage router that your internet service provider gives you has bad hardware inside. It's got slow hardware inside that's no good at moving signals around in your home. It's no good at handling multiple devices in your home. It sucks at that. And so this device has the built-in hardware to run that Xbox, plus that 3 phones, plus that iPad, plus your smart TV, all of that on one network. It's got hardware to process the data. The internet doesn't just happen like magic. You need to process it. And that is what this router is doing for you. It processes the data for you and gets it punched through, which is great. And just like the other TP-Link products I've talked about, it's got the app where you can control different elements for your kids. If you're worried about your kid getting into the wrong stuff on the internet, just turn on the filters, put on the timer, they won't get into any trouble. This will at least help so that they don't get into trouble on the internet. One other thing I wanted to add here is that this router not only has the 2.4 gigahertz network, which is the standard network for routers, it also has 5 gigahertz. So, like I mentioned before, you can choose between whether you want a standard network that has wider coverage, or you want to do the faster network, which has smaller coverage. So wherever you're going to be streaming 4K video in your home, or playing video games, or doing some sort of internet intensive task that requires lots of download, jump on the 5 gigahertz network with this particular router. And if you're just doing standard interneting, text messages, DMs, emails, whatever, then use the 2.4 gigahertz network. And then if you want extremely, extremely reliable internet, wire into this thing. It has all options built into one unit. That's the TP-Link router, and that's one reason why it is one of the best selling routers on all of Amazon. It's got a preposterous 47,000 reviews, which is absolutely crazy.